What's happening, y'all? This is Aldous Hodge. We got Nzinga Stewart. We got Isaiah Mustafa. We are the team from Cross. This right here is the Deadline Studio at the Prime Experience.
You know, whenever you do a pilot, the one thing that a director just does not know until day one is what's the chemistry going to be like. Sometimes it feels really cold and separate, and right away from the first scene, like they have that chemistry. Ben writes beautiful dialogue, but they always added little pluses to it. I remember the scene where Aldous told him he smelled like Old Spice. And it was great. It made me laugh out loud. I ruined so many takes and had to go again because I laughed out loud at something they said.
Are we going there now, you guys?
Now we going there, bro. Because you apparently like to stay on top of this. You be out here with the horses and the diamonds.
This is what I'm saying. Like I'm older than him in real life, but he treats me like a little brother. You know what I mean? That's what happens.
Because my name means old. It literally means old. I've been cursed since birth. Okay? With the action scenes, in the cold, everything is choreographed. The thing that I like about it, it's all tasteful and it sort of drives to the narrative tone and style. Nothing feels like egregious or, it still keeps that sense of suspense and that sense of excitement because you don't know exactly what they're getting into, how they're going to get out of it. There's a tonal thing that happens, which I do want to speak to on a few fronts. From the relationship that we have, Ben always intended that to be big part of the heart of the show. And with Nzinga, so being the first director, it's a bigger job for the overall show because you have to set the tone and basically the blueprint for what is the show going to look like in terms of, our color palette, that's Nzinga, as far as drawing out the vulnerability in the relationship between us. We have Nzinga who's helping to mold that. And again, it's those first 2 episodes that really create the rules for how everything else kind of really flows. So that we got really lucky with obviously you're beyond well accomplished, but we got really lucky being able to work with her in that space and that capacity. But speaking to the action, every single thing, it can be there, but it has to serve story. It can't just be there so the bigger thought process around the action is not so much in the technicality of the actual physicality. What does it mean to the story? And that's the thing that I find interesting as a filmmaker, is watching how they work around the value of something being placed here as opposed to being wasted for, just entertainment shock value. It all goes to story and drives to the narrative, and that's something I find interesting just as a viewer.
You said something about Nzinga that I wanted to touch on because
there were moments. A lot of great things.
You did say a lot of great things.
I know how I'm saying. I said a whole lot. I was.
There's a way to like talk to people, and then there's like Nzinga's way that she talks to people, and like it's just how some artists, they just like throw the paint on the canvas and it's just like they're like, this is my expression of art. Like Nzinga is just like like smooth and just silky with it, and like when she's talking to you, you just get it, and you're like, okay, cool, like okay, I got that, like and it was like easy to get there, you know what I mean, to go wherever we needed to go.
He needs to make smooth.
And I was gonna say something about action, and then he made me cry. I just wanted to say about the action, like you come into a scene like that, everybody's depending on you, you got to get it in a certain amount of time. I had it really as blocked out as I could, as much as I knew about shooting scenes like this. And they came in, they had done their homework, they had spent time with cops in DC, they had asked about every single part of what would this look like, rehearsed it on their own. I was blown away. A lot of actors just show up on set like, what do you want me to do? And they were like, can we show you something? And that whole chasing Tavio into the thing with the guns and the knocking down the door. I saw what they did and had my little notes and was like, out the window, we're doing that. Because they cared.
The scene that she was speaking of we're supposed to run, and nobody told me that we were going full speed immediately. Like, he took off, and I was just like, dang, man. Like, then I'm running, just trying to catch up to him.
I was blessed with these gazelle-like legs. You know, I think it might be just the vibe on set. We got a good vibe. We got a lot of great people, and for some reason it tricks you into believing I can do these things when it's negative 17 degrees, and your body is like, I don't want to move.
Yeah.
But your mind says we have to.
Gotta go.
Why?
Yeah.
Because they already paid you. Okay. Got it. But no, it's a wonderful dance.
Also.
But we got a great team up there, great crew, great stunt team, NAACP Image Award nominated stunt team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put them out there.
Woman stunt coordinator.
Yeah.
We always train and set things up so that people don't get hurt because we got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Usually you'll set aside a whole day for, like, if you have one fight scene, it could be literally be one page.
They were efficient.
But you'll block out the entire day for that. But our team, has us sort of dialed in, getting the angles, that we need to get. And as much as the scenes are strategically placed for the narrative, the thought process that goes into how we shoot it is also very strategic because we need to make sure that our actors can get up and go do the next thing, right? So we're not trying to sit there all day. So we have our directors who have and they know exactly what the shots are that are needed. Our stunt crew is in and out quickly, and then for us it helps because then we allow ourselves or give ourselves the graces performance to give the best performance. Because a fight and a stunt, which is also why we like to do our own stunts, is also a part of the performance. There's a lot of emoting that goes on. I mean, even just the way somebody moves and enters a room, it's all about, expressing who that character is in that space. And these are the things that we talk about when it comes to the fighting and the action, in particular, with those first couple episodes you saw, it's like, what does this also mean to the character? It's not just, we're going to run for running's sake and boop, 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 but like, all right, bro, where's your mind at? What is this character going through and where is he at? Yeah. Specifically, when we're dealing with Tavio, we're not chasing somebody that we don't know. We're chasing somebody who been around the neighborhood. We actually know all the people he knows. We've seen him grow up a little bit. So the way we come at him is going to be different than if we're chasing down a Ramsey, and these are the things we discuss. And that's why I also mean that there are a lot of strategic, sort of creative, discussions that shape the physical. The relationship that we have naturally is pure luck. Right, because you don't always get this kind of working relationship with your peoples. And that's simply because we have a great deal of respect for one another as artists, but more importantly, just as men. So because of that, when we're in scenes together and we trust each other to really, we're championing one another in these scenes to go forward and, be our best selves, that's what then sets the tone for creating a better quality of work because now we can really push without fear and without inhibition because we're not pushing each other in a sort of I would say the depraved way. We're pushing each other with love. Yeah. And because I want this dude to win, I know he want me to win, and we good to go. Yeah. Sort of the nature of the rhythm of things rests on their relationship, Samson and Cross, because they came up together. They are family. They will go through things that we want to see them sort of discover, explore. When they fight, we don't want them to fight. They're creating a lot of stakes with their relationship, and you really have to have a partner to construct that. It's not just in the words, even though our words are brilliant. It's not just in understanding yourself as an individual. It's understanding your teammate.
Yeah. Well, and also I would add to that, and this is almost was a master class for any actor who really wants to do the thing. Both of you were so unafraid to be vulnerable.
Oh, thank you.
And I remember specific scenes. I remember you with the little boy. That was our first day of shooting. Yeah. When he has to tell a child his mother died. And I was like, this has to be something that is so hard for you to do. And I'm seeing this muscle man. I'm like, is he gonna really show us what that would be like? And he was like, don't worry, I got a lot of stuff in here. And I was like, but you're going to show it to us. Yeah. And a lot of actors, that is the point where they start to close up and they act it rather than, allow it. we saw that in the monitor, and I think we might have done 2 takes because I immediately was like, he showed, like, I wanted to cry watching that scene. And then in the later work with Isaiah, I got to just be an audience member because I hadn't directed those. When their friendship started to fray, you could so see how he loved this man, and he was not afraid to show it and didn't feel like I'd have to bring a whole lot of machismo to it. I felt like I knew what this human in real life would be like if he was deeply worried about someone he loved. Like, they both were so vulnerable, and that's what makes the action things work, ironically, is that human beings are involved in this, so it has stakes.
So can we get some tissue? From day one, I trusted this dude. You know what I mean? I knew, like, I was like, he's not going to let me fail. I'm not going to let him fail. The trust was already there, and that allows you to open up and experience and feel those feelings and show that emotion without trying to hide it or act it out. You know, you just do it.
I never trusted you.
You know, he does this thing where he speaks the opposite of what he really feels.
A contrarian.
Yeah. There's a lot of love there.
Yeah. No, we got, it's a great, I would say, like, professionally, this has been one of the best experiences I've ever had in my years, just because from the top down, I mean, obviously you spoke with Ben, so you know Ben Watkins sets a very specific tone of humility and respect, and then that is carried throughout with the rest of the producing staff, because, you know, we are the co-captains that maintain. And then when it comes to, you know, our leading cast, as far as the actors, there's also an example to be set. And that's something that, you know, greatly appreciate, especially when it comes to Isaiah. It's like, you know, we can't step out of line because then other people start stepping out of line.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you get it, but we have a responsibility to maintain a particular decorum on our set because we want people to feel their best. We want them to feel incentivized and valued and respected, because that's how you get the best out of people. But also, you just enjoy being at your place of business, you know?